Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. Want to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend today. One of my favorite times of the year. Growing up as a kid, loved All-Star Weekend, all the festivities. The NBA, I think, as a league, does the best job of celebrating past, present, and future, especially at events like these. This time it was in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I got a chance to check out All Star Saturday night as well as the All Star game on Sunday. Obviously, Team LeBron in the comeback victory defeating Team Giannis. And Team Giannis was looking really good, shooting the ball pretty well, had a lot of explosive plays, and LeBron and them really led by Damian Lillard and Klay Thompson late in that third quarter just kind of took over the game. But to me, the main event of All Star Weekend's always been All Star Saturday night. You know, the skills competition, they always have some sort of collaboration with, like I said, the previous generation and the new, and then the slam dunk contest. So, as somebody this is one of my favorite events in sports, like I said, there were some things I liked and I didn't like. The 3-point contest was star studded this year. I loved the inclusion of Dirk Nowitzki uh, and Steph Curry being in it, Devin Booker and obviously Joe Harris coming out on top. My only issue, and this is one of the reasons why I'm wearing my Spurs shirt, is Davis Bertans was not a part of it, which I thought was baloney on the part of the NBA, really for lack of popularity, even though he statistically is a league leader in 3-point field goal percentage and had enough attempts. He should have been a part of this. There's always guys in there that people aren't as familiar with, and this is the platform to get them familiar. And Davis has shot the ball very well this season, and he deserved that platform. So free my man Davis. But overall, still as an NBA fan, spectacular event. Should be the main event at this point because of what's become of the slam dunk contest, and I'll get to that in a second. But the 3-point contest, especially the way the game has evolved with 3-point shooting, it goes hand in hand with the how well people are doing in the 3-point contest. You had to get to, I think, almost 25 points just to get to the finals. So it's crazy. The skills competition was actually pretty good. We had Luka Doncic, Jokic, De'Aaron Fox, Trae Young, and obviously was won by Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics. One of the things that I enjoyed about the skills competition is guys, when they were behind on the last leg, just throwing the ball up from half court. It was really smart strategy. Obviously, it won Jason Tatum the title, but I think it was Luka was the first one to do it. Just start throwing the ball up, and either you knock the dudes away and you can get your second shot off clean, or if you're behind, you get one. If you make it like Jason Tatum did, you win. So I thought that was pretty neat to watch. And I've never been a super big fan of the skills competition. It's interesting, but as Spencer, I think it was Spencer Dinwiddie that was on there. As he said, you have to. It was really about making the 3-point shot at the top of the key, which pretty much everybody that was able to move on was able to execute. So the main event and the meat on the plate of All Star Weekend and the plate of All Star Weekend, though, for me, my generation growing up and even before, was the slam dunk competition. And it's something that I'm very fanatical about. Just to give you guys some backstory, growing up in my bedroom, I had a Sprite slam dunk poster of every slam dunk winner, I think through Jason Richardson, every year, starting with Larry Nance. It was like the year in like their best dunk. I had like the 94 Isaiah Ryder East Bay Funk dunk and Vince Carter, all these guys, Kobe, Brett Barry, and it was something I always enjoyed. It was a moment I always cherished watching with my father. It's something that helped me fall in love with basketball. It's helped me helped me learn people's stories and something that guys took very seriously. Even the guys that weren't necessarily stars coming into the weekend that were participating in the dunk contest. You learn about a Kenny Walker who was a fringe NBA player, but it was an emotional thing with his dad I think, passing away, and he goes and defeats Clyde Drexler in Houston, D Brown, and what he was going through at the time, winning, I think, 91 with Boston, and obviously the battles between Jordan and Dominique through the late 80s. So it's one of those things that as a historian of the game, I think the slam dunk contest is very, very important. And it makes me sad to see the lack of just the lack of inclusion amongst our stars with this event, the lack of engagement by them. First off, I think, I try to be a solution oriented person. But for me to get to a solution, we have to first diagnose what the problem is. And Amadou Diallo, one of the Oklahoma City Thunder, he defeated Dennis Smith Jr. and it was a lackluster competition. I thought Diallo's dunks were good. I want to give that brother credit first off, but he got ahead, so it was like kind of being conservative just to win. Didn't really. It wasn't on the level we've seen in the past. And look, I also understand that every year the dunk contest is not going to be thrilling and good. And for those who want to make the argument of moving the 3-point contest to the main event, because the 3-point contest is always going to be there's always going to be drama regardless of their scores, just because of the nature of the competition. The dunk contest, look, I'm not going to say it's dead. I think that's an overreaction considering what we got in 2016 between Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. That was one of the best dunk contests I've ever seen. I'll put that up there with any dunk contest, to be honest with you, just those two alone. But even with that being said, I need more contestants. That's the first thing I would go. I don't know why there's not at least minimum 8 contestants in the slam dunk contest. You're able to have all these people in the 3-point competition, have some better pace and tempo with the festivities to be able to fit that piece in to the dunk contest, and let's see 8 more people compete, because the fact that you only have 4 people and they have 2 dunks, if they miss a dunk or come out and below whatever, then you're pretty much screwed. You're pretty much out of it. And so and then on top of that, the lack of all-star presence. You had guys who made the all-star team in the skills competition. You had guys who made the all-star team in the 3-point competition. And then the dunk contest comes around and you have, no disrespect to John Collins, but, John Collins, who's, a role player on Atlanta Hawks, Diallo, who barely plays, Dennis Smith Jr., who just got traded to the Knicks, and I don't even remember who was the other brother that was in there. I mean, just overall, I don't even. Oh, Miles Bridges from Charlotte, so they had a local guy, but none of those guys were all stars. So the first thing is, if you go to 8, I would like to see at least 4 all stars participating in the event, because yes, we've had former winners in the past who were, like I said, fringe NBA players, but they turned themselves into stars just through this competition. So I think having that nice little balance, if you had these 4 plus maybe guys like Giannis and some other folks to participate. And I know Giannis did the dunk contest, I think, in 2015 when he was an up-and-coming player, and he's served his time. And I'm going to get to the players that haven't participated in the past in a second. But, just how I grew up, man, it was always a mix of your up-and-comers, of some guys who are really good athletes, maybe fringe NBA players, but really good athletes that can put on a show, and stars. And let's duke it out and compete. And also the element of stardom. There's a lot that I remember people used to get endorsements from being the slam dunk champ. It was a really big deal. And I see these sports. I don't understand why the NBA is struggling with engaging and having these people a part of the contest. If you look at Major League Baseball, they're able to get their stars in the home run derby. And to me, those guys have more of an excuse not to participate because it jacks up their swings a lot of times coming out of the competition. But the reason why I'm so passionate about this is it's for the fans. It's fan appreciation. Yes, is there this grand thing to gain from winning the dunk contest or participating in the dunk contest? Technically, no. But, it makes you a fan icon. in my opinion. For example, Vince Carter, who to me had a slightly overrated prime in terms of if you look at the construct of his career. But when Vince Carter goes into the Hall of Fame, and yes, he's a Hall of Famer, and we look back at his career and we replay just moments. I'm not talking about situations and all this type of stuff. I'm just talking about when they're showing a highlight reel of his career. You know what they're gonna the first probably 2 or 3 plays they're gonna show. They're gonna show him dunking over the guy in the Olympics from France. And then they're gonna show that 360 crazy dunk he did in the slam dunk contest when he won in 2000. Because till this day, people in my generation, around my age and older, and that have seen that dunk contest, Vince Carter was put in a legendary status, and he will forever be there because of the slam dunk contest. And I think some of these young guys that are coming into the league and that are stars and already maybe younger all-stars that are 25, 26, 27 years old that don't understand historically what the slam dunk contest has done for people of the past, or just like I said, giving back to the fans. That's a big element of it for me that's missing right now, because some of these people we're not even familiar with when they're competing. Like, a lot of people probably weren't familiar with Joe Harris. I was familiar with him because I used to see him play at UVA and play a little bit on the Cavs. But the fact that Joe Harris can now become a household name in the three-point contest, people watched it because Steph Curry's in the competition, and he beat Steph Curry. So, yes, there is still a place for the Diallos. If he's going against a Giannis in the finals and defeats him, you know, you're leveraging star power versus somebody who's using this as an opportunity to up their platform. I think that's huge. Could you imagine Zion coming into the league next year and not participating in the slam dunk contest? Because that's what LeBron essentially did in 2003. And look, I know LeBron gets the most heat about not participating in the slam dunk contest. Yes, legacy-wise, I do knock him. And that may sound ridiculous, but in terms of my own personal opinion of him, that I do knock him legacy-wise for not participating. Michael Jordan participated all the time. Dominique Wilkins, guys that were competing for first-team All-NBA and MVP races, still going out and showing out for the fans. But look, LeBron is not the only person in this generation. I think he sometimes gets singled out too much. Derrick Rose, when Derrick Rose came in the league as a young, high-flying player, should have participated in the dunk contest. Russell Westbrook, same thing, should have participated in the dunk contest. Dwayne Wade, when he was the Flash in Miami, how come he never participated in the dunk contest? So you look, I mean, back in the day, everybody used to, Clyde Drexler, and here's the other thing. Sorry to get ahead of myself, but why is it now too cool for school to be in the event? This was just confusing to me. And now it's like, oh, you know, it's more cool to be on the sideline dressed in the Gucci hoodie, videotaping and making all the fun reactions than actually being in the event and potentially adding to your legacy. It's like too cool for school to me. And I'm confused about that because, A, you guys go in the three-point competition, compete, and we've seen people that maybe shouldn't have belonged in the three-point competition just try their hand in it. You know, Kevin Durant, Harden, Kevin Love back in the day, and some of them actually did okay. But when it comes to the dunk contest, people I don't know if they're afraid of the moment, scared to lose. I don't know what it is, but we're just not seeing that same, you know, element there. And I'm just curious about it because it used to be there. Larry Johnson competed. Scottie Pippen competed in the dunk contest, for those of you who don't know. And some of those guys didn't do very well in the dunk contest. That were good game dunkers, but, you know, they laughed, had a good time, and they got labeled as a game dunker. We kept it moving. But to not even participate and not have that star power presence, to me, is a big miss for the NBA. And for a league that's so good with their social media outlet and fan outreach, all the young people they hire to work on their brand and their league, this is something they've got to figure out, in my opinion, because it's really frustrating as a fan to see the lack of inclusion with our stars. I'm telling you right now, Zion coming into the league, he should participate. The other thing I want to comment on, just to in closing, I did like what Kevin Garnett said during the All-Star game. They had a counter broadcast on TBS. It sounded like a damn spades table with Charles Barkley, Kevin Garnett, and Greg Anthony. and they were basically just talking shit. And Kevin Garnett actually brought up the fact they should maybe do a one-on-one competition, similar like a King of the Court type aspect. But I think that would also be something that would be really cool to see. We try stuff out all the time. They tried the horse thing, that was whack. They've tried some stuff out, but hey, sometimes things stick. And I'd like to see something like a King of the Court type competition. I think that'd be cool to see like a guy like a Kyrie, people with like really, really good one-on-one skills. I think could dominate and have a lot of fun, and I think it would make for good TV. So that's just one other thing I wanted to chime in with. But you guys let me know in the comments what your ideas are for having a better slam dunk contest. Because again, this is just me personally. It's big. It's big on my heart. It's big to me as a fan. But I am excited for the second half of the NBA season. We will be back with just more NBA roundtable, getting back with our basketball coverage and so forth. But hit me up in the comments. Please follow, like, and subscribe. And I will have all social media links in the description box here below. Appreciate you guys as always. Thank you.